The Zen Sage and the Art of Refracting Negativity. A historical tale. In feudal Japan, during the Edo period, there lived a young samurai named Hiroshi. Despite his skillful swordsmanship, Hiroshi was plagued by self-doubt and a quick temper. His negative thoughts often clouded his judgment, making him ineffective both on and off the battlefield. One day, after a particularly harsh reprimand from his lord, Hiroshi found himself wandering the misty mountains near his village. His mind churned with dark thoughts, replaying his lord's words over and over: unworthy, disgrace, failure. As he walked, lost in his turbulent thoughts, Hiroshi stumbled upon a small, hidden temple. There, tending to a garden of smooth stones and carefully raked sand, was an old Zen master named Takeshi. Seeing the troubled young samurai, Master Takeshi invited Hiroshi to join him for tea. As they sat in the temple's tranquil garden, Hiroshi couldn't contain his frustration any longer. He poured out his grievances, his voice rising with each word. Master Takeshi listened patiently, his weathered face serene. When Hiroshi finished, the old sage reached into his robe and produced a small crystal prism. "Young samurai," he said, his voice gentle but firm, "your mind is like this prism. The thoughts that pass through, it can either remain a harsh, blinding light or be transformed into a spectrum of understanding." Hiroshi looked puzzled. Master Takeshi held the prism up to the sunlight streaming into the garden. Suddenly, a brilliant rainbow spread across the sand. "See how the single beam of light becomes many colors?" the master explained. "Your negative thoughts are like this beam. They seem singular and overwhelming. But with practice, you can learn to refract them, to see the many facets within each challenge." The old sage then guided Hiroshi through a meditation. He instructed the young samurai to visualize his lord's harsh words as a beam of light entering his mind. "Now," said Master Takeshi, "imagine this light hitting a prism within you. See it split into colors. What do you see?" Hiroshi closed his eyes, his brow furrowed in concentration. Slowly, his expression softened. "I see blue, the color of growth. Perhaps this is a chance to improve," Hiroshi said hesitantly. "Good," nodded the master. "What else?" "Red, the color of passion. I can channel my frustration into determination. Green, for new beginnings. This doesn't have to define me. Yellow, for clarity. Maybe there's truth in my Lord's words that I need to see." As Hiroshi opened his eyes, he found his anger had dissipated, replaced by a sense of calm purpose. Master Takeshi smiled. The art of refracting negativity is not about denying difficult emotions or thoughts. It's about seeing them clearly, understanding their many aspects, and choosing how to respond. From that day forward, Hiroshi practiced this technique diligently. He carried a small prism with him as a reminder. Over time, he became known not just for his swordsmanship, but for his wisdom and composure in the face of adversity. Years later, Hiroshi, now a respected leader, often shared this lesson with his own students. He would hold up a prism and say, "Remember, young ones, the darkness that seems to consume you can, with practice and wisdom, be transformed into a rainbow of insight."